Hello, welcome to Straight Talk Africa, live from the Voice of America studios here in Washington. It's Wednesday, March 14th. I am Shaka Sali. Today, we have opened the telephone lines for you, the audience, so that you may ask any question that may be on your mind, or make any comment or express an opinion that may reflect the concerns of your community or neighborhood. In other words, it's your show, you set the agenda. We are anxious to get to the phones and hear from you. But first, we walk you through some major talking points that have dominated recent headlines on the continent. My colleague Paul Cisco has more on that.
Thomas Lubanga and Joseph Kony are accused of leading jungle militia that turned African children into killers. A landmark verdict by the ICC found Lubanga guilty today.
The Chamber is satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that the UPC-FPLC used children under the age of 15 to participate actively in hostilities, including during battles.
Prosecutors at the tribunal began hearing evidence against Lubanga on November 9, 2006.
Je suis Monsieur Thomas Lubanga Diallo.
I'm Thomas Lubanga Diallo, the former president of the Union for Congolese Patriots.
After years of deliberations, delays, and appeals, the verdict was handed down Wednesday against the warlord from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
The Chamber concludes that the prosecution has proved beyond reasonable doubt that Mr. Thomas Lubanga Diallo is guilty of the crimes of conscripting and enlisting children under the age of 15 years into the FPLC and using them to participate actively in hostilities from early September 2002 to the 13th of August 2003. So Lubanga will remain in custody, and that concludes this hearing.
The case is the first international tribunal to focus exclusively on the use of child soldiers and sets a precedent that will certainly be used against Uganda's Joseph Kony, the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army. Kony, also wanted by the ICC, remains at large. A video called Kony 2012, released last week by the U.S.-based group Invisible Children, has become an online sensation, viewed by millions daily. The filmmakers say the goal of the 30-minute video is to see Kony captured and brought to justice by the end of the year. Critics say it distorts and oversimplifies the case against the warlord. Kony and 3 other LRA leaders are wanted by the International Criminal Court on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity. In other news, late last month, leaders at London's Conference on Somalia agreed to provide more humanitarian aid to the troubled nation and more support for African Union peacekeepers there. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
As the security and political situation improves in Somalia, the United States will consider a more permanent diplomatic presence there.
Kenya's Mwai Kibaki.
Al-Shabaab confirmed that we have what we have always known in the region, that they are part and parcel of the Al-Qaeda international terrorist network. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a wake-up call to the international community.
Somalia has been plagued by civil war and lawlessness for more than 2 decades. And Senegal's President Abdoulaye Wade is facing a tough runoff in his bid for a controversial 3rd term. The March 25th poll pits the incumbent Wade against his former Prime Minister, Macky Sall, the opposition alliance candidate. Senegal is considered a haven of stability in troubled West Africa, but has seen recent pre-election violence. Finally, U.S. President Barack Obama welcomed Ghanaian President John Atta Mills to the White House March 8th, calling Ghana a nation of good news on a turbulent continent.
There's sometimes a tendency to focus on the challenges that exist in Africa, and rightfully so. But I think it's important for us to also focus on the good news that's coming out of Africa. And I think Ghana continues to be a good news story.
Paul Cisco, VOA News.